If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is, and how it works, everything else that you do understand will confuse you. In all of these 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Anywhere on the planet, minute by minute, day by day, all of the time, all of the time, all of the time.
You are live on the line with Mr. Fuller. You say you don't believe in the code?
Yeah, I don't believe, as I listen to him, there's some logical things that he's stating. But I never have believed in the concept that of this white supremacy. I look at white supremacy as this. When you look at the faces behind offshore oil well drilling, the faces behind equity, leveraged buyouts and boycotts and sanctions, the majority of the time those faces are white. But I believe and have demonstrated that you compete in those areas where the majority of the faces is white and carve out your piece of the pie that's existing. And that competition do work.
He's qualified to say that there is no such thing as white supremacy. And for those who believe that, act accordingly. Or you can believe there is such a thing as white supremacy, but according to what I have written, you're supposed to be opposing it by doing whatever you can that is of constructive value. But I'm just saying, directly, indirectly, if you're a person of color, it has to be approved of by the white supremacists. There are people who built all kinds of ships and all kinds of things of color all over the world as we speak now. And as far back as the time I've been on the planet and even before that, there are billionaires, many of them of color. That's obvious. But I'm saying it's because the white supremacists say it's okay with them for whatever reason they choose. On the plantations, there were some black people in the big house who wore clothes and ate better food than millions of white people. Why? Because the white supremacists in the big house, the slave owners, said that they could do that. Come over here, boy, and you see these boots over here? I got about 5 pair of them, and because you're one of my favorite slaves, you can take a pair of my favorite boots. Now, many a white person will never wear a pair of boots like that. Now, these are obvious things. No one can deny that. And that black person will go clunking around in those boots, showing them off to other black people on the plantation, and say, no black people got no boots like this. Nowhere on the planet. And very few white people. And that black person who is a slave would be telling the truth. So it's no different in the modern world if you understand white supremacy. That's what I mean by understanding white supremacy. But those boots in the possession of that black person had to be okayed by the white supremacists. Otherwise, no boots. That's the white supremacy. That's the evaluation that I give to the system of white supremacy, and I think it's correct. Black people can do all kinds of amazing things, go to the moon and back and whatnot, but only under the authorization with the OK stamp from someone who is white, directly, indirectly, and who is also a white supremacist. Otherwise, what anyone will say what it will mean when people say there's no such thing as white supremacy, they would be telling the truth, which means that I'm writing my book. And on this program, I'm saying something that's flat out not true. And I shouldn't be on this program, because I shouldn't be, nobody should be allowed to talk who's not telling the truth. I mean, you know, and if they're allowed to talk, it should be pointed out that they're not telling the truth. And a lot of people say that there's no such thing as white supremacy. And people can say that. But I believe there is such a thing as that. And I believe it is the strongest government that the world has ever seen.